On the world map, there are places where entering is not an adventure. It's gambling with the law and with life itself. Some areas protect humans from disease, others protect nature from humans. The scariest part is that in some places, the danger is invisible, but it still exists. Today, I will tell you about 12 forbidden zones, their names, locations, and the real reasons why they are closed, based on clear facts. And in the end, one question remains. Who is the word forbidden really protecting? And from whom? Forbidden zones are usually closed for one of 6 reasons: disease risk, biological danger, environmental protection, preservation of historical heritage, military secrecy, or simple physical hazards, collapse, mines, or ice. People often think that authorities are hiding secrets, but in many cases, a ban exists to prevent disaster. That's why for every location, I will show 3 things: its name, its location, and the reason for the ban. Each scene will include one surprising detail: no repetition. North Sentinel Island is located in India's Andaman Islands in the Bay of Bengal. It is home to the Sentinelese, an indigenous tribe that has almost no contact with the outside world and is known for its hostility towards outsiders. Under India's 1956 tribal protection regulations, visiting the island or approaching within 5 nautical miles is strictly forbidden. The goal is to reduce the risk of disease and to respect the tribe's right to live in isolation by their own choice. The most mysterious part is this: the ban is not about hiding secrets, it is a survival system for an entire tribe. In Brazil, there is Queimada Grande Island, Ilha de Queimada Grande, commonly known as Snake Island. It lies near the coast of Sao Paulo and is closed to the public. The reason is the presence of the golden lancehead viper, a snake species found nowhere else on Earth. Online claims like 1 snake per square meter are often exaggerated, but scientific studies still report terrifying numbers, around 2,000 to 4,000 snakes on the island. So the ban is not based on legend. The cost of a single wrong step could be fatal. Surtsey is a new island that emerged near Iceland after volcanic eruptions between 1963 and 1967. UNESCO describes it as a unique natural laboratory, observed without human interference. For this reason, the island has been under strict legal protection since its birth, and access is almost completely closed. Only specially authorized scientific teams are allowed. The most astonishing fact is this: even a single seed or one insect could disrupt the entire experiment, which is why the restrictions are extremely strict. The Lascaux Cave in France is famous for its Paleolithic wall paintings. The cave was opened to the public in 1948, but by the mid-1950s, daily visits of up to 1,200 people caused carbon dioxide buildup, heat, and humidity to begin destroying the artwork. As a result, the cave was closed in 1963 and access was strictly restricted. The secret of this place is simple: even human breath can become poison to history. Area 51, located in the Nevada desert of the United States near Groom Lake, is officially classified as a military testing zone. What makes this area especially striking is that not only the land, but even the airspace is restricted. Approaching it is dangerous and illegal even for ordinary travelers. Declassified documents released in 2013 revealed that the base is linked to advanced reconnaissance and military technology projects. So the secret doesn't come from mythology. This is a zone closed for order, control, and technological testing, not legend. The Chernobyl Exclusion Zone in Ukraine was established after the 1986 nuclear disaster. Initially, a 30-kilometer radius was declared a restricted area, and later, access rules were tightened based on radiation maps. The problem is that radiation does not spread evenly. Some areas are extremely dangerous, while others appear deceptively calm. That's why entry is limited to permits and strict monitoring. This ban is not about curiosity, but about managing invisible danger. The Korean Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, was created as a buffer zone between North and South Korea after the 1953 Armistice Agreement. It stretches approximately 250 kilometers in length and 4 kilometers in width. The paradox is, although it is called demilitarized, it is one of the most heavily guarded, mined, and fortified borders in the world. For this reason, even accidental crossing is impossible. The entry regime is extremely strict. In Norway's Svalbard archipelago lies the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, created to store backup copies of the world's crop seeds. One of its most interesting features is the black box system. Seeds deposited by an organization can only be withdrawn by that same organization. This means the vault is not for everyone. It is a global safe that preserves humanity's agricultural future with strict control. Access is limited because a single mistake could impact global food security. The Vatican Apostolic Archive is one of the largest repositories of historical documents in Vatican City. This place is not completely closed, but access is granted only to qualified researchers with proper documentation. The most concrete restriction is clear. According to official rules, no more than 60 researchers per day are allowed into the reading rooms. In other words, this is not a tourist site. It operates under a filtered access system designed for academic research. Fort Knox, USA. Fort Knox, located in the U.S. state of Kentucky, is known as the depository where the nation's precious metal reserves are stored. The reason for its closure is cold and straightforward: security. The official website of the U.S. Mint openly states that visitors are not permitted to enter the depository. That is why the phrase "secure as Fort Knox" exists. This place is not about secrets, but about strict order and protection. Heard and McDonald Islands, USA. The Heard and McDonald Islands, located in the Southern Ocean and administered by Australia, are among the most remote places on Earth. Their restricted status is not based on a dangerous myth, but on absolute environmental protection. Access is controlled through a strict permit system. Australia's Antarctic Governance Framework requires all activities to comply with IUCN conservation principles, and permits are issued under very tight regulations. In short, this is not a place you visit just to see. Nature is prioritized over humans. Grenard Island, Scotland. Near the coast of Scotland lies Grenard Island, which for a long time became a symbol of biological danger. During World War II, the island was used for experiments involving anthrax, after which extensive decontamination efforts were carried out on the soil. Sources such as Atlas Obscura note that for decades the island remained officially dangerous to enter due to this history. The most striking fact? Sometimes a ban is enforced not by walls or fences, but by the land itself. Blood Falls, Antarctica. Blood Falls in Antarctica is a scientific site famous for its red-colored flow emerging from a glacier. Although it appears frightening, the color is explained by iron-rich salty water and oxidation processes, not blood. Antarctica operates under an extremely strict regime. Every expedition must follow rigid rules regarding waste, contamination, and biological impact. The remarkable truth is this: the ban here is not to hide a secret, but to ensure that science remains pure when human traces are kept away. Today, we saw that forbidden zones are not always about secrets. More often, they are about protection. On North Sentinel Island, the ban protects the tribe from us. In Lascaux, it protects history from our own breath. In places like Area 51 and Fort Knox, The reason is secrecy and security protocols, while in locations such as Surtsey and the Heard and McDonald Islands, restrictions exist to preserve nature itself. The main conclusion is simple. Some doors remain closed so that the world can remain safe.